Welcome back to Super Sentai Review, episode number 337. We're talking about episode 39 to, not 39, it's basically 9 to 12 of Dekaranger. Now, basically, the first two episodes is a two-parter, which focuses on Bon. Yeah, in these episodes, Bon gets focus episode, Yumiko does, and so does Hoji. Hoji is the third one, third episode. Fourth episode focus on Yumiko. This is a quick two-parter where Bon and Yumiko are on a stakeout. Look, and by the way, there's a guy who broke out an asteroid prison, which when they adapt this into Power Rangers, they basically had it. What the prison he broke out of was on KO-35. They changed it here. Well, actually, that was a change from this one where he was based on an asteroid which blew up. Which I remember in SPD, this was basically a satellite over KL-35. Which the only reason I threw it in because, well, this is my personal theory because of popularity of In Space, and I'm sure the writer of the episode probably was a big fan of In Space, so they probably just used that as an Easter egg for that show. Despite the fact at the time when it aired, it only had been like about 7 years since In Space aired. I didn't watch In Space at the time, but I did watch years later. I did watch SPD when it aired. I did. Also, SPD is the first show where I watched the finale when it aired. Yes, this is indeed true. Mystic Force was the one that came after this one. That was the first one I missed the premiere. I still have not seen the premiere Mystic Force. It is the only Power Ranger season I have never seen the premiere for episode 4. Nope. I might watch it a little bit later, but who knows. So, basically, the last now, there's this mad bomb breaks out of prison, and he's come to Earth to find his old Earth, is basically his girlfriend. His ex-girlfriend, mind you. And, of course, they're taking out her place. Bon knows how cute she is, and he instantly falls in love with her, and basically has to make a cover story to get close to her because he's in love with her. And then, of course, she finds out that he's SPD, so she gets angry at the fact that she was stalked by him. That was part of his job. Yes, this is typical cop 101. Bon didn't like to take out at all. He thinks it's boring. And he'd rather just do all the action. He'd rather be the action guy, not the guy who sits around and just watches people. Yep. And he got in trouble for this. Falling for a suspect. Well, basically someone who's aiding. And of course he shows up and like, weirdest thing I gave you. She's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then of course, like, oh yeah, claim he's a plumber. And then find out, oh yeah, he actually is SPD. And he tries to apologize to her, but she's angry at him for lying to her. So basically, he is going to be disciplined. He was going to be disciplined, but don't worry, he does not. So he's basically they'll come back to base. He's moping, and he's basically out of the case because of his. Well, he doesn't have a level head. He might have an overreaction to this because of the girl. So later on, we see her. He tries to basically. Swan allows to leave headquarters, no problem, because she's basically just allowed to go for a walk. He basically can leave when he wants to. So technically, she's not punished because she probably has an authority at Deca base. So she allows him to go out, and then of course she finds apparently we find out where he kept. Where apparently she kept the thing that he was looking for. It was kept inside of a teddy bear that was kept in a refrigerator, which I thought this was really weird. Me too later, and he tries to force himself on her. I'm kind of glad this element was basically not adapted for the episode of SPD, because he only appeared for one episode, so only appeared for 2. Like, basically, in a way, he tried to rape her. Yes, an attempted rape in a kid's show. Like a Bond shows up basically to save her, and he apologizes to her. Doesn't matter if you forgive him. Basically, he just wants to be around her, and of course he's defeated. And then of course she does accept him as a friend, And if she gets a boyfriend, he'll be the first to know. And he's like, oh man, he's put in the friend zone. Yep, that's what guys call being like a girl you like, and they rather be in the friend zone than being romantic with them. My guess is the reason why she did that probably because he also lied to her. But basically, she's someone she would trust in him for his friend, a guy. Yes.
Mom's about 5 miles away. I don't know if she's gonna make her grandma. Let's do something different tonight. We haven't done a while. Wear polo shirts for Mom, right?
Okay.
I'm sure she'll appreciate that.
Anyways, so in the case of the next episode, where a meteorite comes in, and also Doggy Kruger is out of town. Yeah, he's at a conference at the space headquarters, wherever it is, and discovered the pilot of this thing came down was in fact a guy named Vino, an old friend of Hoji's. And if you're curious, was this adapted for SPD as well, like in the case of the previous two-parter? It was. And it's mostly the same, except, and here's the thing, they kept pretty much even who he was friends with. In the case that one was Sky, and this one is basically Hoji. Though they did make one small change. I did basically read this up. Jack was in charge of SPD, not Sky. Which is interesting, the fact that it's like that. So, it turns out that apparently Vino, in the episode, he turns out he's actually an assassin. He's not SPD. He is, in fact, an assassin who left basically his version of police force 2 years prior to the series. So they come into hitmen, killing politicians. And the reason he did this? Money. Because, of course, money. Eventually, he's defeated in the same place that, like, this particular theater location that they're in, where they had the final battle. I'm like, this location looks very familiar. And I was thinking about it just now, this is the same theater that was seen in Time Ranger. Not even 4 years prior to this. Like, did they go back to the same theater area? Like, the same the theater? Like, I'm sure that they probably used this thing for... I'm sure that the city itself probably had a similar place that... Like that one. My guess is they went back there, and the place probably was abandoned after 4 years, which seems quite odd, but that's kind of... I thought that was interesting. This is probably the first time in a while I've seen it where they go back to location, not like a frequent person, like a frequent steps I see in some late 90s, early 2000s Sentai, but this is the first time since Mega Ranger that we Time Ranger actually see this place. And eventually he's defeated because basically it was placement pride. And the guy is killed, and of course, also in the episode, apparently his target was Doggy Kruger. And the reason? He was hired by the main villain of the series. Okay. 12 is a weird one. This one was not adapted for SPD. If you watch the episode, you can see why they skipped this one, because this one is so bizarre. There is something comes down from an identified object, and of course you have Imiko, where she's in a bath. She's basically taking a bath because of her thing. She loves baths. And apparently, when she apparently didn't have time to clean out her because of the shampoo over here. Ends up sneezing on Dog Kruger, and he even yells at her through the shooter, which that was interesting. Yes. And they catch it, and it's a cradle containing a giant baby named Amy. Which this thing is a little bit annoying, and apparently it's from a planet who originally was giants who had shrunk down to the small size. And apparently the one way they keep it. Keep her normal size as she has a pacifier in her mouth. Yes, if she was a baby, well, she's kind of a youngish one. So, yeah, and of course we put giants. And apparently, Abra, he wants basically her crying ability to make bombs. Yep, that's the reason why he kidnapped this baby. And throughout the episode, we have Imiko basically protecting her. Bond basically does best to help out too, which is interesting. This is probably just repaid the favor for what happened in the two-parter with him. She basically being a supporting character in his focus episode. This one's kind of the same thing too. Basically, it's Bond's turn to do that. That's turn to favor. And, well, No monsters one, surprisingly. Just basically one of the recurring grunt generals. Yes, they have that one. It's just in another monster, which I found that interesting. And eventually, by the end of the episode, the girl was her parents by the end of it. But really good for it. I would say the first year really good. 12 is so obvious because it's so goofy. And you can see why they skipped it. It's pretty much a filler episode. But good character development for Imiko. Now, you might be curious though, does she become a parent in the future? Yeah, who she marries is a bit surprising. You would think because she hangs out with Bond that she might marry Bond. No, she does not. I am not really going to spoil who she marries, but she does get married to somebody. And of course, she did a little team up movie with a few other people. Well, I remember she does get married, but who? Not going to spoil who she gets married to, but she does get married. As a matter of fact, her wedding gets interrupted. Yes, believe it or not, it does. But we'll discuss in the future. But yeah, that's be pretty much it, particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do not hit the dislike button. Next up will be Konosuba. Okay, next view.